Yeah, so welcome everyone to this clinical art training course, and we'll start from this is our demo session. Okay, and if I go to the next slide, so this is me. I'm Ranjit. I have 13 plus years of experience in clinical domain using SAS and R. Okay, so what I'll do now, so I'll ask everyone, right, all of you, just to give your a very brief introduction. So what you have to do, you just have to provide me the name, okay, from where you're joining, and also the experience, if you have SAS experience or R experience, so you can provide that as well. So you'll have to provide your name, location, from where you are joining, and if you have any programming experience, so you can also mention. Okay, so who wants to go first? Anyone?
Hi Ranjit, Akshay here.
Okay, please, Akshay.
Yeah, Akshay, I'm audible.
Yeah, I can hear you. Akshay.
Yeah, hi Ranjit. Good morning, good evening. I'm from Hyderabad, India location, and I hold 7 years of SaaS experience in one of the pharma industry.
Perfect. Thank you, Akshay. Yeah, next.
Yeah, hi Akshay. So, hi Ranjit.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, I'm Chandrasekhar. So basically, I'm from New Jersey, but 2 weeks back I just came to India.
Okay.
So now I'm attending the class from India only.
Correct.
Yeah, I have total 13 years experience, but that is in a different domain. From last 3 years, I'm working on this clinical.
I see.
So now I'm interested to learn R. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you. Yeah. Next.
Yeah.
Hi Ranjit, this is Lakshmi.
Perfect. Yeah, go ahead, Lakshmi.
I'm from US, and I have like 10 plus years of experience in SAS, but not R.
Okay. Perfect. So next.
Thank you.
Anybody? There are a whole lot of people here.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, please. Yes.
Am I audible?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, my name is Leela. I'm joining from New York, USA. So I have zero experience. I just finished my graduation a couple of years ago.
Okay.
So now I'm taking both SAS and R programming for the great online training.
Perfect. Yeah, perfect.
Thank you.
Next.
Hi.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead one by one, please. Yeah.
Okay, I can go first.
Yeah.
Hi. I'm Tina. Sorry. I'm also from USA, and I have just maybe 2 or 3 months experiences with SAS.
Okay.
And I learned the maybe just 1 month all by myself.
Oh, I see. Great. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Next.
Hi, Bhargav this side. So I work in preclinical domain, especially in DMPK in Dr. Reddy's India. So I see R, it would be a tool for me for the data extraction and visualization for the pharmacometrics.
I see.
So from the past 1 month, I started using R only to extract the data and just for normal data cleanup. So I just wanted to explore more. That's why I have enrolled for this course.
Yeah. That's perfect. Yeah. Next.
Yeah.
Anybody? Okay.
Hi, sir. Good morning.
Yeah, please. Yeah, please, Silva. Go ahead.
Myself, Shilpa. I'm in US and I have 0 years of experience.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, this is Riyaz. I'm from Hyderabad, India. So I have 10 plus years of experience in the SAS programmer.
Okay. Okay, perfect. Next.
Hi, my name is Zulekha, and currently I'm taking SAS classes, and I want some classes in R as well. And I want to use this for data analytics. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. Next.
Hi, I'm Andrei. I'm a statistician, and I have some experience in SAS and R.
Perfect. That's, yeah. Okay, thanks, Andre. Next.
Hi, I'm Padma. I'm living in United States, Texas, Dallas City. I have some experience already. So, yeah, nowadays everybody's asking our experience also. That's why
Okay. No worries. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody who wants to go next? Okay, so if I summarize, all of you have some experience. I guess one or two people doesn't have sufficient experience. No worries. So we are starting this R from very beginning, right? And you just have to focus in the class, and that's all. So this is the bet I can give, right? You just have to focus in the class, and you can able to navigate very easily. Okay, this R is a very user-friendly software, right? You don't have to remember a whole lot of functions. You can very easily navigate, and you can do all sorts of work, right? Okay, so I'll go to the next slide here, and so I'll describe here the agenda. So first describe about the course content, right? And after that, I'll give you a glimpse of our programming. Okay, I'll give you some code chunk, right? I'll just demonstrate. Maybe I can create, I can import the datasets. I'll show you how to create the output, how to create the listing, how to create a figure, right? So I'll provide some exposure, and then later I will move to the frequently asked questions. These are the basically questions asked by the student related to the payment, related to the access of a course material and other thing, right? And at the very end, I will have a question answer session. Yeah, but if you have any burning questions, right, just stop me. I'll happy to answer your question. Okay, so the first part is the course detail. Here we'll cover this course in two parts. The first part is dedicated to base R and advanced R. So in the base R, whatever the functionality we have, right, if you install R in your system, so there are pre-installed functions, right? So those are a part of a base R. Okay, so I will give you a detailed description about base and advanced. Advanced is basically you can download or you can load another package. Packages are basically a group of functions that is combined together, right, just to extend the functionality of R. So in the part one, I will give you a detailed description about base and advanced R. Okay, and I'll open the Excel tracker and I'll show you the day-by-day material what I'll cover, right, in the course. So once we cover the part one is basically for building block. Okay, if you don't have any understanding in R, right, or any other programming language, we will navigate from the very beginning. Yeah, and after the completion of part one, we'll move to the part two, and here we'll do a real case study. Okay, we'll provide you a data sets, okay, a COVID-19 studies, and it can provide you all materials, for example, DPP or SAP or TFL cell document, protocol, annotated CRF, right, Adam datasets, CDM datasets, raw datasets. Okay, we'll first do the table listing and figure creation. Okay, then we'll move to the datasets preparation. First we'll prepare the Adam datasets and then SDM datasets. So this is the flow, right? And here at the very end, I'll give you some extra classes, 2-3 extra classes, where I'll describe the upcoming things, right? Recent things, recent development, what is going in the R, specifically in the clinical domain. Okay, there might be some packages that may pop up in a couple of months, right? So I'll try to utilize, or maybe there are various other advanced packages that can be used for our day-to-day job, right? So this is the thing. So let me go to the Excel tracker, right? And I'll show you here a detailed description about the course content. Okay, so right now here we are in the demo class, right? This is day 1. Then in the day 2, I'll give you an overview of our programmer job. Okay, what you have to do if you join any company as R programmer. This is similar kind of job profile, but here you have to use R. Okay. Then on day 3, I'll give you a history and overview of R, and these are the topic I'll describe. Okay, what is R? Because R originates from a S language, right? So it basically have some kinds of similarities. Okay, some basic features of R I'll describe. I'll also describe about the free software. Right? Free Software Foundation is an organization that basically facilitates the exchange and of a free software across globe. Okay, I'll give you some information about that, right? And I'll also describe about the freedom. There are 4 kinds of freedom, right? And also the design of our system, limitation of R. There are few limitations, but most of them are already resolved, right, or tackled. So these are the content I'll cover on day 3. Then on day 4, this is basically for installation of R and RStudio, right? So we'll here use a graphical user interface as RStudio because that have a simple layout. Okay, so I'll show you the installation and of R and RStudio together on day 4. And then here we'll start some basic part, nuts and bolts in R, how to enter input, how to do the evaluations, what are the different type of objects, right? How we can do mathematical operations on number, how it treats number, okay, attributes and creating of vectors. So these are the topic I'll cover on day 5. Similarly on day 6, this is some extension, mixing of objects, then coercion, okay, matrix creation, list creation, factors, right, data frame and names. So we'll cover these in detail. Then here this is just to import and export the data, getting data in and out of R, right? We can read the data, we can export the data. In case of large data sets, we should have to have some information about the memory requirement. Okay, why? Because if we import any data sets into the R environment, it basically stores inside the RAM. Okay, so you should have a sufficient information. You should have some enough information how it calculates, right, and how much memory we need for importing a particular data set. And this is very specific in case of very large data sets, maybe in the size of petabyte, right, or terabyte. But in case of a small data, right, so we don't have to worry about that part, right? But I'll show you the calculation aspects. And then I'll give you advanced R package, read R. This is just to input datasets. Okay, and here this package is very efficient as compared to the base R functionality. Okay, so in case of very large datasets, if we use this package, it can very easily, right, import the data. Okay, so that is a feature. Then we have here a textual and binary format. These are basically a format just to store the data for a longer duration of time. So you can convert those data, right, what we have into a textual and binary format, and then you can read, you can just store, right. These are very long-lived file, and there should not be any problem of corrupting. Okay, so that is the main important thing, right? So as compared to other programming languages. Then sometimes we'll have to navigate with our established connection with the outside world. For example, if you want to import data from a web page, okay, so you can do that here in R. You can establish the URL connection and you can very easily import, right? Although those data are in HTML file format, right? But I'll show you in the class how to clean. Okay, because nowadays there is an induction of a real world evidence, right? So for that, we'll have to, maybe in the coming future, we'll have to extract the data from open source, for example, WHO, right, UNICEF page. So in that case, these are a very useful functionality. After the completion of all, right, so we'll move to the subsetting of objects, right? And subsetting is basically extracting a small element out of a very large, right? So here we'll describe about the subsetting of vector, matrices, list, nested element, right? And also the parcel matching. Okay, and at the very end here, this is very important because removing of NAs are basically missing values. Okay, and R treats missing value in a different way. So we'll first have to identify the missing values, and here we have a dedicated function that can very easily remove or drop those missing values. So this is on day 10. Then day 11, this is a vectorize operation. Okay, on matrices and vectors. Then here we have a date and time calculations. Okay, and then here we have a dplyr package. This is a very important package for data processing. Okay, for example, if you have a unstructured data, so how can you convert to a structured one? Okay, so there are various functions: select, filter, arrange, right? Rename, mutate, group by, right? Pipe operator, right? So we'll cover these one by one. After the completion of this dplyr functionality, we'll have a control structure, right? The basic looping structure I'll cover here, and at the same day I'll cover also the apply family of function. Okay, because these two are related. And then here we'll cover the function, right? How to create a custom function, how to optimize the function. Okay, there are different ways you can create a function. For example, you don't know how many number you want to add, right? For example, you want to add 3 number, 5 number, right? So you can create a very general function where you can add any number of number, okay, using this dot argument. Okay, so we'll cover these. Then here we have a scoping rule. So sometimes we'll have to create a dummy variable, right? And that dummy variable can take value from a global environment, right? And that is called scoping rule, how it takes the values for a particular variable, particular free variable. Okay, so R uses lexical scoping. Okay, R cannot use a dynamic scoping. So other programming languages like Python, Perl, right? They uses dynamic scoping, but for statistical analysis aspects, right, or programming aspects, lexical is okay, right? So we'll give you some idea about this scoping rule. After that, here I'll give you a description about how can we write a very standard code, because I saw people, right, they use a very poor structure, right? They don't have a proper construction, right? Sometimes they use variable name in uppercase, sometimes they use lowercase, they don't use proper indentations, proper variable name or dataset name. So I'll give you a detailed description, right? How we can write a standard code. Okay, not related to R, but I'll give you a very general as a guideline here, and I'll give you a various example. In R, we have a very good feature, right? So for example, if somebody has maybe written a very poor code, right, or poorly formatted code, so we have a package and we can pass that code inside that package, right? And we can convert to a nicely formatted code, right? So that is very easy in R, but in other programming language, we have some problem. Okay. Then here, looping family of function, right? These are functions created just to use a looping structure in an optimal or efficient way. Okay, so we'll cover these functions. These are basically called apply family of function. Then here, how to handle this character vector or character data or string. So this is the regular expression we generally call here in R, right? I'll show you a base R functionality, and I'll also show you some advanced R functionality. And here I'll describe about this string R package. String R package is a package that is developed in R, right? Just to extract and process the character data or string. Then we'll have here debugging. So if we encounter some kinds of error, how to resolve, right? How to tackle those. So those are a part, right? I'll describe under this debugging topic. Okay. Then we have a profiling of R code. So this is very important, because here we don't have to write just a code. We have to write a structure that is efficient. Okay. So you can very easily profile your R code, and you can very easily identify which part of the code is taking more time, right? So what you can do then, you can just rewrite your codes again, and then you can you can rewrite in such a way so that it will not take much time. Okay, so this is the structure we have here, and I'll cover under the profiling of Argo. And then here from day 22 to day 25, so I'll take a case study, air quality data that is built in R, right? And I'll show you the functionality that I covered so far as a use case. Okay, here I'll give you also the idea about the data visualization, how to clean the data, right? First I'll clean the data, then I can show you how to subset, how to apply filter, okay? And then we'll move to the data visualization part. Here I'll give you various kinds of charts that are available or function that is available in the base R functionality. And I also show you advanced R package, that is ggplot2. And in the same similar kind of way, right? So maybe after completion of this data visualization, one day I'll show you how to merge or join data sets. Okay. And then because in the clinical trial settings, we'll have to create the report in RTF file format. So I'll give you a detailed description of this R2 RTF package. This package we generally use for creating a RTF file. Okay. So this is the part 1 of the course. I'll pause here. Any question, anybody on this?
Are we going to learn how to make X bar chart, R bar chart, show heart chart?
No, this is very specific to quality control studies. So maybe I can give you some idea, right? But will not do explicitly, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Because on the conceptual level, these are basically a mean chart, right? X bar is a mean sample.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we'll have to just add and subtract the standard deviations, keeping a particular distributional, right? The margin of error. We'll have to, yeah. No worries, I can give you some idea. Okay. Any follow-up question, anybody?
Hi.
Please.
No, yeah. Nowadays, without learning the basics, so many people, they are subjected to use some packages in the R because of their, demand in the day-to-day life.
Correct.
Okay. So, likewise, some examples I deploy are tidyverse, etc. So, I am the basic example. I don't know completely the basics of R, but I supposed to use these, packages. To make my data cleaning easily and all. Correct. So here, are we going to learn the packages? What are the advanced packages now, which every people are using randomly? So are we going to discuss those? Because so many people, I think so, it might be using for everyone.
Correct. Yeah. So this course is designed for a clinical R, right? The people who are SAS, right? And they just want to switch here in R. So because here in R, we have multiple kinds of packages, right? But we'll discuss about the packages that is sufficient, right? For doing a day-to-day job, right? So we'll have a deployer included. We'll have also the Admiral included at the very end, right? After completion of the part 1 and part 2, I'll give you a digital description about the Admiral packages and Metacore and Metatool. Okay? So no worries about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this ggplot and...
ggplot is included in the data visualization aspects.
Okay.
Okay. Any follow-up question, anybody? Okay, so I'll consider silence as no. So don't hesitate, right? This is your class. I'm here just to help, right? So now I'll move to the part 2 of the course.
I have one question.
Please go ahead.
I have one question. GCP and Google Cloud Platform and R programming. If any, both are is related to same.
Sorry. Could you please?
GCP and R programming. Google Cloud Platform and R programming. If any integrated to various tasks, I don't know, nowadays is asking GCP and R, Python,
GCP is
Azure and Teradata and
programming practices. Good clinical practices, right? So that is basically a guideline, right? So a guideline is not included here, right? A guideline is not included.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll just describe about the content that we generally do on a regular basis, excluding the guideline. Yeah.
Ranjit, I have a question.
Please.
Now, I spoke to Naidu as well. See, I'm learning this R for data science. Now, the thing is, this is my first time when I'm having these all topics in quality control. I do not know till what level R is used in data science. So, do you think me doing this particular your course would be helpful, or will I have to go for something else?
This is maybe you can get an idea about data science in clinical domain or data science as a general.
I mean, I'm doing masters, so I do not know now till what level because we've just started. And
correct.
Yeah.
So this course give you an idea about what we do in a clinical domain, right? And how we can utilize. So here also we do the data preparations, report creation. In the data science also, if we join a company in maybe as a data science in health domain, healthcare industries, right? Yeah. So you have to face these kinds of reports and data sets, right? So if we are targeting that, this is useful. If you want to learn R, right? So this course provides maybe exposure, right? You can learn R in a better way. And also you can get an exposure of a clinical trial data sets, reports, right, and things. So if you are targeting that, this is useful. If you are targeting a very general data science course, so this is maybe a kind of things which can give exposure how we can create the report. But for example, in the general data science thing, right, you have to take the data. You can have different kinds of data. For example, you have a data for a certain process, maybe quality control data, or maybe a data from a particular industries. Okay, but these are the patient data. This is very sensitive data. But on the data level, right, if you ask me as a statistical aspects, right, so there should not be any much difference on a conceptual level, right? Every time you'll have to evaluate the summary statistics and modeling, right? And in that case, the values matters, not the core part, right? From where the data is coming. Okay.
Yeah. So I got it. I got your point. But now another question. So this would be a helpful thing for me because any type of data will have the same procedure you are saying, right?
Correct.
I mean, yes, but this is something very like for health related. So it's a little different approach, but it can be used like, right? Correct. I mean, because I'm thinking to do a research paper on that. So I can use this as a,
base. Yeah. If you want to do any kinds of research, this is very useful, right? You can do very easily. You can do all the analysis reports and
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so this is a part 2 of the course. And here we'll first demonstrate the listing. These are the listing we have here. Okay, I'll create few listings, and for a small one, right, for example, informed consent, I'll give you a homework, right? Then here we have a tables, right, from this class 4 onwards. We have tables. These are the tables we have. Okay, I'll give you a few homeworks, right, related to a particular table. Okay, very small one, and maybe in case of repetitions, I can create one and I can give you the other as a homework. Okay, then we'll move to the figure creation, right? I'll not create only figure related to this COVID-19 studies, but I can also show you various figures. For example, Kaplan-Meier plot, waterfall plot, right? EDIS plot, okay, that we generally use in a clinical trial settings. Okay, I'll show you data sets preparation as well, and other basic plot, for example, pie chart, line diagram. Okay, and then we'll move to the introduction of ADAM datasets, ADAM and SGM, right? So here we'll give you an introduction about the ADAM datasets, and then we'll create these ADAM datasets: ADSL, ADMH, CMAE, right? VSLP, ADTTE, one by one. Okay, and after the completion of all the ADAM datasets, we'll move to the SGM datasets. Okay, and here we'll cover these SGM datasets. Okay, one by one. And in the extra class, I'll show you Admiral package, SQLDF package. SQLDF is one of the packages that is that mimics the functionality of ProcSQL or SQL. Okay, and I can also give you a Meta Core and Meta 2. Okay, So these are the things we'll cover in detail. Okay, so let me open this thing once again. So this is part 1 and part 2 of the course. Okay, part 2 is mainly for project training kind of thing, right? And the course structure, right? This is the complete course structure of part 1 and part 2. And if you ask me about the fee, so this is 20,000 Indian rupees and 305 USD, and you'll have to pay GST on top of that. Okay, so this is the course content. So I'll pause here. Any question? Anybody?
Hi Ranjit, after completion of this course, do we get any certification regarding that we have completed this particular?
Yeah. So you'll get the participation certificates. You just have to contact the SUPO, right? Our course coordinator. Yeah, they will share the participation certificates once you complete this.
Yeah, and when we are teaching this R language, will you differentiate between SAS and R?
Yeah. So,
if in the SAS.
Correct. So as you know, right, so you all are most of you are coming from the SAS background, right? So when I do any kinds of code, right, I'll try to compare, right? So for example, the proc transpose and the mutate part is similar to variable creation, select is same as keep or drop of variable, right? So I'll do that. No worries. Thanks for reminding.
Yeah. Thank you.
Perfect. Okay, anybody? Any thoughts, question?
Can you please explain what time we'll have lessons in this time, like now, and can we see it in the records, and where we can find this records?
So the timing of the class will be the same, right? 7 a.m. India time, right? And you'll have to convert as per your location, right? So we'll have 1.5 hour class daily, right? And we'll have classes from Monday to Friday. So we'll have 2 days off. So Saturday and Sunday will be off, right? So we'll have any classes. Okay. Hope this makes sense.
Hey Ranjit.
Yeah, please.
So all these classes will be recorded, right? In
Correct.
case if we miss any class, we will have
I'll come to that point. Yeah, in a minute. Yeah, you'll get the recording daily.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Chandra, please.
Actually, I have no question. You answered
Perfect.
Previously.
Thank you. Okay. So
and do we get any material kind of notes to follow this training?
Yeah. So whatever the content I'll cover, right? For example, the code chunk that I'll create during the session, right? I'll provide that. I'll also provide some reading material. Okay. I also provide some cheat sheet, right? So you'll get those. And additionally, you'll get the data sets, right, related to project, right? All the content, for example, the TFLCL document, SAP protocol, integrated CRF, and all the data sets, RMSDTM and raw data sets for the project related part. Okay. So these are the
Thank you.
Yeah, content.
I have one question.
Please.
R Shiny and R both are the same or are different?
Yeah, R Shiny is maybe a dynamic kind of reactive programming that is developed on R, right? So R Shiny is not included here because that is altogether a new course. Okay, so we cannot cover. Yeah. So we are planning to launch. Maybe we can inform you if time permits, right? So I'm creating the PPT, right, and material of the course. Will inform you in the future.
Do R and R Shiny are same alike, or there is any difference?
So R Shiny is an extension of R, right? So that is a dynamic programming or reactive programming. You can write on top of R, right? and this is kind of automations, right? You can automate all the things using RShiny, and then you just have to pass your datasets and you have a report ready. You don't have to do anything. So hope this makes sense. I'll give you a yeah, in the class maybe I can just include here. I'll give you a one package that is called safety graphics. This is our Shiny app that is built on and for a safety dataset analysis, for safety exploration. Safety means AE, lab, right, and other vital sign. Okay, so we can very easily do the analysis using this safety graphics app. So I'll describe that part in the extra class. Okay, any last minute question? Anything? Anybody?
Sir,
please.
Do we have to pass any exam like we do for SAS?
We don't have any such exam. You just have to face the interview, right? And that's all.
Okay.
Yeah.
And also you mentioned the classes are from Monday to Friday. Is it according to India or USA?
It is according to India.
Oh, then we do have classes on Sunday night?
Yeah, maybe then we can sift a little bit. We can decide that part later. Is that okay?
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Perfect. Okay, so these are the things. I'll now open this slide deck and I'll go to the next part. Yeah, so first of all, why this clinical R? Why this is important right now? So because here we have a various potential, right? This R is very fast, right? In the computation time, it can very easily compute, right? It can very easily evaluate, right? And also the second part is a file sharing and collaboration. So we have a tool, GitHub tool and GitLab tool, right, where you can very easily maybe collaborate with the maybe other person, okay, or other programmer. And the file sharing and collaboration is one of the features that we have here that does not mimic right any other software, okay. And because of that, there are a whole lot of work, right? We can very easily get and we can very easily utilize those work in our study or in our work. Okay, you can get the code from others, right? You can modify based on your need and you can implement in your study. So this is a very important part. And the third is here it has a very advanced data science techniques. For example, we have a various packages, for example MMRM, okay, then this MT tools, okay, that can do a data science in a very effective and efficient way. Okay, there are other packages too. This course is not dedicated for data science, but although this is a very good feature of R. Okay, this is also cost effective because we don't have to pay any subscription fee to anybody. You just have to download and you can work. This is completely free. And right now there are demand for this clinical R programmer, right? So this is a high time. You can upskill yourself and you can get the opportunity or utilize the opportunity that is out there. Okay, so that's why this is very important as of now. And this is the course detail. So here we'll have a course 1.5 hours per day, and this is because of the previous one, right? So previously we have to I generally take classes all days, right, in a week, but we'll have classes from Monday to Friday. Yeah, we can just decide. We can have Tuesday to Saturday, right? We can decide that part later. And here in the material part, we'll provide you the class recording, the code chunk, and also the other material, for example, datasets, cheat sheet, and recommended books. Okay, so these are the things about this course detail. Any question before I go to the maybe some demonstration of R? Question, thoughts, anything? Okay, so let me open the RStudio. If you don't have RStudio, no worries. I'll show you the installation in coming days. Okay, the installation of R and RStudio. So now I'll show you some feature of R, how we have to write the code and how we have to navigate. Okay. So here we have a new tab. Okay, and first of all, what we have to do, we just have to clean the environment, right? So I'll show you this function later, but you just have to write rm, then list is equal to ls. So here we have a combination of function. Ls basically extract all the objects that are present here, right? So if I use ls, let me show you. If I use ls, it will basically extract all the objects that are there in the global environment. This is our global environment. Here we have console, right? This is an editor, and then here we have file and plots window. Okay, so we have generally 4 windows, right, in RStudio. Okay, here we write the code, and whatever the code that will execute, it will basically sense here in the console for the execution purposes. If that code chunk does not have error, so it can create the object, and you'll find the object here in the global environment. Okay, so here the ls function, it will basically extract all the objects from the R. Okay, and right now we have these many objects. Then what I did, I just store this whole thing inside the list, and then I use rm function. Rm function is a function just to remove objects. Okay, rm means removal of objects, and it can basically remove all objects in one go. Okay, so this is a clean or kill statement, what we generally use in SAS, right? So this is basically for cleaning the things. I'll just revisit this thing again, right? Cleaning of our environment. Okay, so we are just storing all the objects. We are extracting all the objects using ls function. Then we are assigning to a list. Why list? Because this objects can be a dataset, it can be a variable, it can be a function. So that's why we have to store in list, because list can store any kinds of objects. Okay, and then on top of that, I'll use rm function just to remove all objects in one go. Okay, so this is the functionality. So let me just write here. So ls is a function. It will basically extract okay, then we are storing in list, and rm is another function. It will basically remove objects. Okay, so first of all, we just have to clean, and then we'll have to set the working directory. And how we have to set the working directory? There are multiple ways, but first and foremost is the set wd. So we'll have to use set wd is a notation for working directory. So we'll have to use this, and here we'll have to provide the location. So what I can do, I can go here, and in the let me check. Give me a sec. Yeah, so what I'll do, I'll just utilize, maybe I can set the working directory here in the September folder. Okay, so we'll have to first place, we'll have to use this setwd function, and then we'll have to specify the parenthesis, and inside that parenthesis you can use single quotation or double quotation, and then we'll have to paste the location or path. Okay, and then other thing is R does not recognize the single slash, right? So we'll have to make this double. Yeah, and that's all. So this working directory is set here. I can very easily validate. So this is a way of setting the working directory. So why we generally set the working directory? Because if you have a working directory set, right, you can very easily import all the files from that location easily. You don't have to specify the location, right? You don't have to specify this path again and again. And the second thing is, if we store anything, by default it will basically store at this location. Yeah, so these are the two advantages of setting the working directory. And as a default, it basically points to a C drive, and we don't want to fill our C drive. That's why it is recommended just to set the working directory location other than the C drive. Okay, just to optimize the space. Okay, and once you set the working directory, you can very easily check. And for that, you'll have to use a getWD function. So it will extract the working directory location and it will extract the same thing. Okay, so this is a one way. So this getWD basically extract. Okay, then there is another way we can very easily set. So instead of just specifying double slash, we can give a single forward slash. Okay, so let me do that. Now I can use some other location so that we can very easily compare. So I'll set here at this folder. Yeah, instead of giving this single slash, I'll give a single forward slash, single backward slash. I can replace single backward slash to single forward slash, and here we have. So it can recognize very easily the single forward slash, and now this is okay. There is no error here. And if I run this now, getWD, it will basically override the earlier location and it will be this one. Yeah, so you can notice in the earlier one we don't have the output folder, but here we have output folder specified. Okay, so these are the way of setting the working directory. So maybe we can have this method 1, this is method 2. There are all the other methods also. I'll show you. Yeah, so these are the ways. Then third way is you can go here in session and you can use this option, set the working directory, and you can specify or choose the location. But I'll not recommend this one because you'll have to go every time. You'll have to select this location, and this is not efficient. So rather than just going and selecting the location specific path, you can use this method, and you can very easily specify the location. So the first part is if you're writing code in R, you just have to clean the working environment, and then you can set the working directory. Okay, and after that you can do all sorts of things. Okay, so I'll pause here. Any question? Anybody?
Sorry, I just missed it. Can you say again why the method 1 is forward slash, but the method 2 is backward slash?
Yeah, so R does not recognize single backward slash, right? So either you'll have to use double backward slash or a single forward slash. Okay, so this is the difference. Because single backward slash is reserved for other things. For example, if you want to allocate new lines, so for that we have a single slash, single backward slash. For example, I want to store here. This is September batch of clinical R. Yeah, and here I can use \n. Yeah, and here I can write Ranjit. This is a text, so I have to use quotation. And if I run this, if you notice what this does, here I use this \n. So that's why here it basically specified the enter, and the next text is starting from the next line. Okay, if I remove this part for a time being, right, and if I run this again, it'll have these all things in a single line, right? So here, if you want to shift this Ranjit to the next line, what you can do, you can specify here a \n. So that is the reason. That's why we cannot use this / here in the setup of working directory location, because this is reserved for other things, for new line, for tab, right? If you want to give a tab, so you'll have to use \t. Hope this makes sense.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Can I ask you one thing? Where is you did clean of our environment? LS, what is LS for? And R is for remove object. Where are the objects?
Yeah, so for example, here, if you notice at the beginning, there are a whole lot of these are the objects, whole lot of vector functions, right? So these were there here in the global environment, right? So you can remove all in one go. You can remove one by one. So one by one removal is not efficient. So that's why what I did, I just use ls function. So it will basically extract all these objects. So if you notice, this is basically this is a result of ls. Once you use ls, it will extract all the objects. These are the objects that is stored here. This was stored here in the Clover environment, right? And then I basically store this ls inside the list, and then I use rm function just to remove all things in one go. Okay, so we'll come to this point again, right? Because I have not covered list yet, right? And I'll cover that part in the class in detail, and maybe you can able to understand this in a better way. Okay. Okay. So now what I'll do, I'll just take a datasets that is built in R. Okay, and then I can show you how to create the listing table figure. Okay, so I'll use one of the packages. That package name is Admiral. Yeah, so I already installed, so I'll just comment this line. So this is the package name I am utilizing, right? So I'll comment this line. For the comment, if you want to do a comment for a line, what you have to do, you just have to press Control plus Shift plus C button. This is for comment or uncomment a line. Okay, so if you press this Control Shift and C again, it will uncomment, right? So I don't want to install because I already installed. I don't want to overwrite, so I just want to load, right? So you'll have to install for the first time. Once you install, so you just have to load whenever you want to utilize that package, right? Whenever you want to utilize the functionality of that particular package, right? So I know this package have various statuses, so that's why I'm just installing that. Yeah, so this is for installation. Okay, and this is for a single time. Yeah, and loading is, this is basically the loading of a package. Okay, you'll have to load every time right, whenever you want to utilize that package. So for example, if I close this RStudio session, and if you want to use the functionality or datasets that is present in admiral.test, so I'll have to load using this library option, right? And then I can utilize. Okay, so if you close this RStudio session, it is gone, it will not there, and you'll have to load again for utilizing that, right? So every time when you close your R session. Yeah, the next is I can use the datasets admiral underscore maybe I can use TM. I'll use this TM. So this is STM datasets, right? What I can do, I can rewrite and store into another object. Maybe I can use TM. This is just to showcase, right? And here we have various variables, right? So we have variables. You can also use other datasets. For example, I was planning to use Adam datasets. So let me use another package. Formatters. Yeah, so I can use now. This is a package that have Adam datasets. You just have to write ex and you'll have Adam ready, right? So you can utilize this datasets for the practice purposes. Hello. Sorry, there is some internet interruption. Hope you can hear me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Ranjit.
Yeah. So I was just loading this package. I already installed, right? And I have to utilize the datasets, the ADSL datasets that is present inside this package, right? So what I can do, I can store this into another object. So ADSL, and here we have. So if you notice, this is the ADSL datasets. Here we have 400 observations and 31 variables. So these are the ADSL. All the variables here we have, and then I can show you how to do the report. Okay. So for report creation, there are 31 variable. I don't need all, right? So I can just use here a select statement. Yeah. So, and here there is another symbol I'm using. This is a called pipe symbol, right? This is called a pipe symbol. Pipe operator that is present in a deployer package. So we'll cover deployer package in detail. No worries about that. So this is just a demonstration. I don't have a sufficient time, so that's why I'm utilizing here. I'm just loading this deployer. Yeah, and I can utilize this this functionality, right? So this function, this pipe operator basically allows us to do a sequential operation. That means you can import the data, you can do variable creation, you can apply filter, you can do the summarization, right? There are plenty of things you can do one by one. And this is an efficient way of programming in R, right? Because if you create multiple objects, I already told, if you create anything or if you import anything, it will really basically store here in the environment, and this is in your RAM space. So it will basically kill your RAM if you if you have a whole lot of objects that you create one by one. Okay, so that's why they just develop this additional functionality. This will allow us to create the data sets in sequential way, and here you don't have to create multiple data sets, right? So now I'll use a select option. Select is nothing but a keep or drop, right? So it can perform the functionality of keeping the variables and also the dropping the variable. Okay, so for example, here we have the column of study ID. So suppose I want to keep. So what I can do, I can just write here, and I can run. So if you notice right now, we just have 400 observation and single variable study ID. So for keeping, you just have to specify the variable name, and it also maintains the order. Yeah, it preserves the order as well. So first is study ID, second is your subject ID. For example, I can also use act arm. Yeah, so you can notice this is preserving the ordering. Okay, then how to drop the variable? This is basically for keeping the variable. The same function, keeping, keep and maintain. Okay, suppose I want to drop. So what I can do, I can use the same function. Yeah, and I can place a minus symbol before the variable. Suppose I want to drop this study ID. So what I can do, I can place here and basically drop that thing, right? So I'm commenting that part, right? Because I don't want to utilize this, and I do so that you can, and you can uncomment, right? And you can run these two things one by one, right? So I can run this again, and here if you notice, we have 30 variables. So earlier in the main dataset we were having 31, and if you notice, we don't have the variable of study ID because study ID is dropped. Okay, so you'll have to place a minus symbol if you want to drop a variable. Yeah, suppose I want to drop more variable, more than one variable. So what I can do, I can use combine operator, and I can combine variables one by one. For example, I can use your subject ID as well, and will basically drop. So if you notice, the number of variable reduces further, right? So now we have 29 variables, and if you notice, we don't have the variable of study ID and use subject ID here. Okay, so this is the way how we can keep and drop, and we'll cover these in detail, no worries about that. So first of all, here I just want to create a listing, so I have to anyhow use a select statement, yeah, and I'll have to filter a required number of variables. So I can use your subject ID, then the variable of age, sex, race, then I can use a variable, let me check, race we have, so I'll just keep a few variables, act, arm, right, arm, act, arm, city, arm, and arm, city, yeah, arm, city, and act, arm, city. Yeah, so I'll just keep these many. You can also keep other, right? So we have there should not be any problem, right? So I just want to create a very small listings. That's why here we have to keep these many variables, right? And we can very easily do the reporting. So for example, we'll have to create a RTF file, and for the RTF file we need one package. That package name is R2RTF. So first of all, you have to load, you have to install. So I already installed, but I'll write the code so that you can uncomment and I can load, right? So R2RTF, this is the package name, and you can install first and then you have to load. So R2RTF, so here, and then I can very easily create the listing for this ADSL datasets, right? So I can call ADSL, then here RTF underscore body, right? So have to write RTF underscore encode, yeah, and the next part is write underscore RTF, right? And here I can specify the name demo.rtf. Yeah, so we'll have to use just a 3 line, right? RTF body, so it will basically helps in creating the body of the listing. This is basically because it is using here R data, right? This ADSL is R data, right? And it is converting to an RTF file. So that's why we'll have to provide here a machine level conversion. And this RTF underscore encode basically converts that, right? So this is basically for converting. Yeah, to RTF file format. And then here, this is RTF, write underscore RTF. So this will basically export the RTF file. It'll create, yeah, and here we don't have to use any encoding. By default it uses Unicode 8, right? And if you run this, it will basically create a listing for us. So this is the simplicity. Okay, so this is complete, there is no error. And where I can find the listing, I can find the listing where I set the working directory. So if you notice, I set the working directory here, so you can go and you can find the listing. Output, yeah, so I just created this demo. Yeah, here if you notice, this is the listing, and later I'll show you how to add the attributes. For example, title, variable name, column name, right? The bordering, I'll show you each and every aspects. How we can add the footnote, right? As we proceed in the class, right? This is just a demo session, so we just have a limited time. Okay, so I'll pause here. Any question on this? Okay, so this is the way of creating the RTF in the R, utilizing this R2RTF package. Okay, you just have to use this 3 line, that's all. You just have to clean the data. Yeah, this is your process data or clean data, and then you just have to pass. Okay, and by default it creates on this working directory location, right? You can have option here, you can specify the path, right? And you can very easily sense the output in another location. Okay, so this is all about the listing creation. Now I'll show you a table creation. Yeah, so this is a listing creation. Yeah, so table, for that we have another package, install.packages, and the package name is table1. I already installed, so I just load using this library option. Okay, this is loaded, and then I can create the data, right? I can create the report here. So for example, what I have to do, I just have to write here a table 1. This is the function. Then here you can specify the variable. So first of all, I want to summarize the column of age, right? So here we have age column, so I can specify that. So age in uppercase, because this is the this is case sensitive language, so we'll have to be very careful about the variable. The second variable I want to summarize is sex, right? So I want to summarize these two, so I can specify comma, and then I can specify a dataset name. So dataset name is ADSL. If I run this, it will create here the report. Okay, you can notice a summary and a summary of sex. Okay, this is a default. By default, it basically creates mean and standard deviation, and then median, minimum, maximum, right? But you can have option. We have option. We can modify, and we can get the output as per our requirement. Okay, but this is a default. Okay, suppose I want to add other variable. So here we have a variable of race. Suppose I also want to summarize this race. So what I can do, I can just use a plus symbol, and I can specify the variable of race. Yeah, if you notice, we have race, and it maintains the order. First it will summarize the age, then sex and race, and for the numeric variable, it will provide this summary, mean and standard deviation together, and minimum, maximum, median and minimum, maximum. And for the categorical variable, we'll have this summary, right, count 10%. Okay. And suppose and by default here, if you notice, this is overall summary. If you want to segregate further, so what you can do, you can specify here a grouping variable. So after specifying all the variable, you can just use vertical stroke, and you can specify the grouping variable here. So for example, I can use here act arm. Act arm is the grouping variable, treatment variable I want to use here for the grouping. So what this does, act arm. We don't have act arm as such, right? So we have act arm CD. Yeah, now this will work. And here, if you notice, A, B, C, and then overall. Okay, so this is the summary. Suppose I want to drop the column of overall. What I can do? Let me just write again so that you can replicate. So I can use the similar structure, age and plus sex plus race. Act arm CD, and then we can specify the data DSL, and here we have an option overall is equal to false. If you write false, it will basically suppress that column of overall, right? Notice we don't have a column of overall now. Okay, and here this is the report that is created here. You can export to a PDF file, you can export to any file format. Okay, you can create the data out of that, and you can modify, and you can create Excel, CSV, anything, right? So this is up to us. So any question on this report creation, table creation part? And here we can also define the label in a proper way. For example, here we don't have the we just have a label, we don't have the unit, so we can specify that. So let me do that. So I can specify the unit and label together. So label is okay, we can skip, but you can specify the units, and you'll have to specify the units attributes to the datasets. So for example, A is in years, so I can write here years. Yeah, and if I run this, it will appear the year along with the age. Okay, for example, I can also define, for example, I don't want to write here a sex, I want to write here a gender. So what I can do, I can define the label. Oh, sorry, this is, sorry, labels, it should not be S. Yeah, if you notice, now we have here a gender. So this is the way how we can update the label and how we can specify the unit. Okay, so I'll pause here. Any question, anybody?
So, hi. So this is my first class. Is this the demo class?
Yeah, this is just a demo
it doesn't
class.
Seem...
Yeah, this is a demo class. I'm covering here some code chunk, how we can write the code in R and how simple it is, right? But don't worry.
No, it's not simple.
Yeah, so report creation, another thing is very simple. So because you all are coming from this other programming background, right? That's why the structure looks different. But if you notice, we just have to we can create the report just in 3 lines. Okay, you can create the table in just a few lines, right? 1 or 2 lines. You just have to process and then you can create. So that is a simplicity. Although you just have to keep in mind the structure, how we have to use the variable, how we have to specify the variable. Right, this is the way, right? Any programming language works. Okay, simplicity means the functionality is very user friendly. You don't have to remember. For example, you want to combine 2 things together, so we have cat function, we have paste function. Yes, suppose I want to combine here maybe clinical, yeah, and R together, so I can use paste. Paste is basically combining 2 things together. Okay, suppose I want to convert this whole things to an uppercase, so you can have 2 upper function. You can pass that to convert to an uppercase. Similarly, we have also our lower function, 2 lower. Yeah, it will convert anything to a lowercase. For example, I can write here clinical R to convert to a lowercase. Similarly, the other functionality. So this function names, right? These are user friendly. You don't have to recall because these are self-explanatory. Okay. So now very quickly cover a few part here for the data visualization aspects. I'll create a few plots, and for that I have to keep here few variables. So if I open this ADSL again, let me use, because right now I just kept a single numeric variable. I'll keep one more. Yeah, here we have a continuous biomarker label, BMRKR1. Yeah, I'll use this, and now I'll create the plot, right? So this is a basic plot, right? I just want to create a line diagram, and here we can utilize X as age, and on the y-axis I can use that variable of biomarker. Yeah, this is the plot. Okay, you can modify the label, you can add other stuff, right? This is by default a point diagram, but you can create a line diagram. You just have to specify type. So type is equal to P is for point diagram. This is for, yeah, our scatter plot. This is again the same thing, and you can use L. L is for the line diagram, to create a line diagram. This is very messy, yeah, because we don't have proper pattern. Then we can also have a line along with the point together. So you can use here P, and you can create very easily. Yeah, and then we can also have a ggplot2 nomenclature, because this figure is not high dimension, right? High definition. So you can create a plot utilizing this ggplot2 nomenclature. So again, you can install the package of ggplot. Okay, plot2. I already installed, so I just load ggplot. Sorry.
So once it is installed, you don't need to install every time?
Correct. So once you install, it is there in
when you start the session?
Yeah. Once you install, it is there inside your C drive, and you don't have to install again. What you have to do, if you close the RStudio session, you'll have to just load using this library option. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. But sometimes, ggplot I guess, oh sorry, I am using here missing 2, right? So this is the way, and now I can use the nomenclature of ggplot2. Here we'll have to use ggplot. We'll have to specify the data set is ADSL, and then we can specify the mapping. So this is the structure, and here we can specify the statics. AES X variable as age in uppercase, Y variable is equal to BMRK R1, right? So right now we have this. So if I run this, what this does, it will basically create a skeleton for us. So this is age variable, this is a biomarker variable, right? Here, and now we can add a geometry on top of that. So this is the structure, how it is built in ggplot2. So I'll have to use a plus symbol, and this is basically for adding attributes. So for example, I want to create a line diagram, so I can use a geom_point, right? This is a simplicity. Point means a line, point diagram, scatter plot, right? So if we add geom_point, so it will basically, we are just giving an instruction just to add a point, right? So this is a scatter plot. So if I run this, I'll have point here. Oh, sorry. Okay, why this is geom_point. Give me a second. Oh, let me. Oh, sorry. Here I used capital letter. This is wrong. You'll have to use small case y. Yeah, now this will create. And here, if you notice, this is the scatter plot. And if you compare with the base plot, right? This is our base plot. You notice that you can compare the definition, right? This is not high dimension definitions. This is not having a poor quality, right? But if you compare the recent one, the one that we created using this ggplot2 nomenclature, this is a high definition. This is high quality. Yeah, so this is the difference. So anyhow, we use this ggplot2 nomenclature, and ggplot2 is one of the packages that makes R popular as compared to the other free software. Okay, because it has a very rich data visualization capability. Okay, so I'll pause here. Any questions so far on this some demonstration part? I'll have a few slides to cover, right? So I'll just go quickly. Yeah, so here these are the frequently asked questions that right from the student, and here I just read these one by one. If you have any question, you can just stop me. So can I get R software? Yes, I'll show you how to install R in the session, right? So maybe in the 4th class I'll show you that. What materials I'll get, I already mentioned that I will get the recording, the code chunk, also the datasets that I'll use in the real class, right? And also the project material. How many class I can attend a free? So you'll have a few free classes, right? So you'll have to just use the same meeting link for a couple of days, and after that, those who decide to register with us, right, they get a separate meeting links, right? The course coordinator will share those meeting invite, and you'll have to use that, right, from maybe in coming days. So who will install our software? I'll guide you how to do that. What if I miss the class? You'll get the recording and also the code chunk. You can do a practice, and I'll also create a WhatsApp group so that we can navigate, we can chat, right? If you have any burning question, you can just drop me a note. I'll happy to answer. Okay. Can I rejoin the course if I discontinue due to personal? Yes, you can do that. Can I get any task after each class? So in part 1, I'll give you some basic task, right? Just to search for a particular cheat sheet, right? A function, right? But I'll give you a dedicated task in part 2 of the course, where I'll ask you to create listing table, right? And this is the thing. Can I ask question in middle? Yes, you can ask. You can also share a screen if you have some program related issues. And you send the payment details, the course coordinator will share the payment details. How long I will have the access of the student portal? If you register with us, you'll get the student portal access forever. Is this the same meeting link for all the classes? No. So after few classes, the course coordinator will update the meeting links, and those who register with us, they will get the new meeting link. I'm from the non-programming background. Can I learn this course? Yes, you can learn. You can utilize this course for upskilling purposes, right? Because nowadays there are a whole lot of demand for programming, right? Because everything they are just automating and they are using the tools, right? And can I get job support after this training? So for the skilling color, this is a very popular one, right? You get the LinkedIn feed right in the LinkedIn, right? You just have to search, okay. But if you need any kinds of dedicated instructor, you just have to contact the course coordinator, and you can get an idea, right? We'll provide a paid instructor, right? Dedicated instructor. Do you have any references to get a clinical art job? So you can find. So we don't have any such references as such, right? So you can use LinkedIn feed. Sorry. Anybody any question?
No, Ranjit.
Okay.
Okay, Ranjit, the
Please.
thing is, it was a little hard for me to understand because, I haven't been exposed to this type of programming ever.
Correct. So this is just a
seems to be
demo.
difficult. So will you be giving definition of each and everything? Because I think it was, I could not understand. At the end of the class, I understood that the ADSL was the data set name. Otherwise, I didn't realize throughout the class
It's okay.
it was the data.
It's okay. This is just a demo session, and that's why I just cover few potential, right? We'll cover each and every function in detail in the class. No worries about that. Okay. Hope this makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So is there any prerequisite required before enrolling the course? So you just have a master or bachelor degree, right? And this is just a normal requirement. And what is the cost of the course? I already told, right? This is 25,000 and 305 in USD, and you have to pay the course, this GST on top of that. Sorry, please. Any question? Anybody? If you're not speaking, please unmute. Yeah. Okay. If I go to the next one here, I'm in USA. Can I ask someone to do the payment in India? Yes, you can do that. How much salary for fresher and experienced person in India and USA, right? So 7 to 9 lakhs in India for freshers, and for experienced persons, for each year of experience, you'll get the 3 additionals. This is just a rough calculation. And for the USA, you just have to convert and also adjust the quality of life, right? The inflation and other aspects. Okay. I'm working in an organization for a different role, but I'll do now, right? So you can use this course for upskilling purposes if you have interest in programming, right? And because there are a whole lot of opportunity, right? Okay. And these are the things we have, right? So I'll pause. Any question, anybody? Hello.
So, Ranjit.
Yes, Riyaz, please.
Yeah, like if we are okay with your classes and we want to continue from tomorrow, so we have to in touch with your coordinator, right?
Correct. Yeah, you'll get the same meeting link. You'll have to just use the same meeting link. You have to join, and you'll have to contact a course coordinator or Subbu. I'll just write here this number, and you just also ping me on the WhatsApp so that I can create a WhatsApp group, okay, for all of us, and we can very easily chat, right? Give me a second.
Okay.
I'll just pull the Subbu number.
Is this the same timing?
Yeah, same
7 a.m. every day?
Correct. Yeah, same timing. So this is plus 9.
So it's every day or?
It's Monday to Friday. India.
Monday to Friday.
Yeah. We can decide that part. If you want to save to me, you can decide that part later. Okay.
Okay.
And plus 91. This is my number. You can just drop me a note so that you can create a WhatsApp group, and yeah, all of us. Okay, so that's all for the day. I'll pause. Any questions, thoughts, anything on the course content? Yeah, and this was just a demo session, right? So that's why I just have limited time and I want to showcase all the functionality, right? But in the class, we'll cover each and every aspects in detail. Okay. Any question, thoughts, anything? Yes, Riyaz, please.
Access to
Ranjit, I have another question here.
Please.
Hi.
Ranjit, if we are interested in learning after this ARC course, if we are interested to learn R Shiny, so will you be providing courses for the R Shiny?
We're planning, and in coming months, right, I will try to launch another course on R Shiny.
Okay, thanks.
Can you please open access to folder where the records will be stored, because it's in my location it's too early to join.
Correct.
Every time.
Yeah, so the course connector will share the link, right, and or maybe portal. You'll have to use the portal. I'll share a video, right, on the WhatsApp group after the class, and that will help you in navigating the course content. Because for me, I have a different layout. I have to upload this recording and the code chunk in a Google Drive. Yeah, but for you and for all the students, you'll have to go through via portal. You'll have to register you'll have to put your email ID, register email ID there, right? Then password, and it will navigate to the portal where you can able to access the material, right? So this is different for you, and this is different for me. This is just a folder. I just have to load right here. I can create a folder for September, one folder for PDF, the code chunk, and other is for the material. Let me show you the layout, how you can. So you'll have basically these kinds of folder. Give me a second. Yeah, it is loading. Yeah. So here, if you notice, we have different batch, right? August batch, July batch, right? So you'll get a folder where you can find the materials and code inside that. If you just open this material and code folder, you'll have a 4 dedicated folder. In the code folder, you can find the code, right? The PDF file of the code that I'll describe in a particular day, right? For the recording, you just have to go back. Yeah, and here you can find the daily recordings. Yeah, so you just have to contact the course coordinator, yeah, and you can able to access. They will provide you the way.
I have a question. What project are you going to take? Which case study would be that?
Yeah, this is a COVID-19 case study.
Anything? Can we take anything else? Is it possible?
No, right now we generally use this COVID-19 case study. Why? Because most of us, right, have some exposure about the therapeutic area, right? What is the symptoms we generally have, right, in case of COVID-19, and also the how we can navigate and how we can evaluate the clinical benefit, right? So that's keeping these things in mind. So that's why I decided just to keep that, so that everyone can understand the biological aspects, right, and also the disease condition, in a better way.
Yep. Thank you.
Okay. So any question, thoughts, any last minute question? Because we already have 1 minute late. Yeah, so if you don't have any question, no worries. So we'll cover tomorrow onwards. So tomorrow, in a couple of days, tomorrow I'll show you the role and responsibility of clinical R programmer, right? And then we can have one by one, right, the other material. Okay, what I describe here in the Excel tracker, right? So tomorrow will be overview of our programmer job, then history overview, then we'll have installation on the day 4. Okay, so that's all for the day. So thank you everyone. If you don't have any question, we can sum up the class, and we'll meet tomorrow.
Thank you.
So thank you everyone. Thank you for your time. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.